Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with my co-host James Mason, where our goal is to bring you insights and ideas to your daily trading activities and to talk about stock symbol POAI.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
That's only because all of you guys are all in. So there's no sense in talking about the other 4 or 5 runners this morning. We're just sitting here waiting for news.
I mean, I can summarize the other 4 or 5 pre-market runners. One slight gap up on the daily chart, but it just had a gap down, a pretty significant gap down on the daily chart about 2 weeks ago. And that is ticker with hold on, I just said it a minute ago to you, Todd. Let's see, what was it?
RDHL.
Yeah, RDHL. You know what? To give this show some more substance besides Predictive Oncology, just pull it up. So this is what I'm talking about. We just had that significant gap down on the daily chart, and it was pushing down, and then this slight gap up right here. Even though they had some FDA news, the bears are going to be all over that to short that thing. Not even worth chasing, in my opinion. Todd, did you see anything else that was kind of significant? I mean, ticker XENE.
Yeah, I've been watching XENE, and that might do something because of it's got a high percentage of institutional ownership. It's over 80%. So it could, if it's a short, it's a real tight stop losses, but I don't think I'm interested in it, honestly.
Ooh, hold on 1 second. I haven't really, actually not really. I haven't looked at the news on it. Let's see. So announces positive top line results for their phase 2B. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, not really much for short interest overall. Shares outstanding, 40.9 million shares. Damn. With how much that had gapped up, let me turn off all these indicators. With how much that gap up, and like I'm literally like, let me scrunch my chart some more. There we go. Like we literally went from here, gapped all the way up here. Per trading view charts, we're above all-time highs. Ooh. I'm gonna honestly have to expect this one to get shorted down pretty hard. It's probably going to be the one that the bears all go after today, which is cool because let's just say hypothetically they release news for Predictive Oncology, depending on what it is.
People want to see your screen.
Oh, you can't. Oh man, you should have told me sooner, Todd.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you. I wanted to let you.
Seeing my screen is more important. So I guess I'll talk about RDHL real quick in a moment. But geez, talking about giving the show more substance, and Todd is just watching me not share my screen. Like, you're supposed to be my partner here, Todd.
There you go. Now we have proof, people. It's not my fault.
Hey, but everybody, shouldn't have Todd as my co-host has said, "Hey James, you ain't sharing your chart."
Well, we all know who brought you POAI.
Okay. Anyways, guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that Todd failed y'all. But anyways, here's ticker XENE. And I mean, we literally like gapped from the close on Friday from 1560 on up here, currently at $27. And with this setup, I'm gonna have to say that the bears are gonna be all over this thing, just trying to hammer it down. That's probably where their focus will be at today. So if Predictive Oncology would release some news, hey, that's cool with me. They'll be chasing this thing up here. And yeah, and we'll just see what happens for us. But let me just basically start the show back over. So look at ticker RDHL. This is what I was talking about on the daily chart. So zoom in some more. All right. So not long ago, we just had that significant gap down and then started trending down again. But then here we are gapping up pre-market. This setup, regardless if they had FDA news, this is a horrible setup to try to go long in. Now, can it just take off running? Yeah, it can absolutely do that. It can do whatever it wants. I mean, it can shoot up here and hit all-time highs.
It's got to fill that. It's got to fill that gap. It's got to fill that gap.
Inside jokes, everybody. I don't feel like wasting time getting into that. But anyways, something like this is just a ugly setup. Like this is not worth chasing, in my opinion. I personally wouldn't chase it. I mean, you guys can if you want, but this is just an ugly setup to try to go long. Now, I'm talking about in terms of like trying to swing this, ride it out. Could you day trade it? Yeah, absolutely. But I would say that if the bears were looking for something to short, XENE would be the top one, and then this might be the second one that they would look to short. So let's see what else we got. Ticker ADVM making a move. Everybody's like, damn it, James. I don't want to hear about this other crap. Just talk about Predictive Oncology. All right.
Well, I talked to someone this weekend, and they told me that Predictive Oncology is not going to make the move until we get a 90% like button click on our show.
And that's 100% true.
Yeah. So
yep.
If you want news to come from Predictive Oncology, start smashing that like button. We're up to over 100 people, almost 120 people. And so it's a team game right here. I mean, you want to be a participant? Join in.
It's all dependent on this show, and you guys hitting that like button. So, hey, if you guys want to hold it up longer, I mean, we can go another 6 months.
We've done our part. We've done our part.
Done our part.
It's your turn to carry some buckets of water, and all you got to do is click a little like button.
Exactly. Just waiting on you guys and your like button. All right. So let's ADVM. Let me see what the news was on this thing. Okay, so I really don't even see nothing for ADVM except for on October 1st, after the market closed, it says that they presented a 2-year optic data demonstrating sustained durability and something and whatever. Share structure. Oh, wow. Hold on a second. Okay. So they actually have a decent size for short interest. There are 11.5 million, so 11.5 million shares being short. Short percent of the float, 15%. Days to cover, 5.9. Shares outstanding, 97.9 million shares. Percent held by institutions, 81%. So this one right here, there's gonna, let's see, they've traded 4.4 million shares already pre-market. And there was 11.5 million shares short. This one actually might have some potential to the long side, but I'd wait for it to break above this high right here in the daily chart. So I'd wait for it to break above 260. Just get it there. So this one for ADVM, I would look for this thing to break above 260, and I haven't checked what it has done pre-market, but okay. So we did actually test it after hours on Friday above that. Tested it one time. Actually broke above it pre-market when it opened, and then tested above it one time just recently. So I would look for that next break above 260 to see what it does. In terms of like, if I was going to trade it, I'd probably go long. But looking back at the daily chart, if this thing would break above 260, I personally wouldn't really press my luck trying to write it up much more than $293. This would really just be probably end up just turning into a day trade for me if I was gonna like trade something like this. I'd expect it to get that strong resistance right around filling that gap, and then probably start pulling back. So let's just go ahead and talk about the only ticker worth talking about, Predictive Oncology. So here on the daily chart, the daily chart is looking beautiful. That nice gap up, and then this run up right here. Very strong bullish day this past Friday. I mean, we just looking at candles. I mean, we haven't seen a strong bullish day like that in a very long time. So we're just slightly above that here pre-market. You can see that little dash line right there, or maybe you can't see it, but we'll just pretend you can see it. But trust me, it is right there. And breaking above, from a technical perspective, breaking above 140 is critical. And we will catch a little resistance around the 160 to 165 range. And if we don't get any news, again, this is just talking technicals right here, no news. So if we don't get any news, could see a little resistance right in here around that 160 to 165 range. But breaking above that, we can show true potential. And hell, on the daily chart, we have a lot of room up if we can just keep up the momentum. And that is, again, just based off of just technicals, not even talking about any news. So I do feel with the way the price action has been, and hold on, I'll talk about the 135 range here in a moment, but I do feel with the way the price action, with the way it has been, something big is coming.
I was going to just comment about the price action because you and I spend some off the show time when we're watching stuff, and there's been some large blocks of shares going through on the buys. So that means that's obviously a sign.
Yes. So everybody knows my theory about my theory last week about that 135 range. They literally kept it pinned just below 135. And those warrants, so the strike price for the warrants were a $1.25 strike, but with the cost of premiums and everything, it would have cost them an end like 137, I believe. So really, they would have executed them above. It makes sense to execute above 137, and the higher above 137, the better for them if they were going to execute the warrants. I don't believe the warrants have been executed yet. I don't believe that was the warrants being executed, just because. I mean, I could be wrong here, and there's no way for me to know. But the reason why I'm saying this is the volume. While the volume was good, it wasn't the amount of volume and price action that would happen if the warrants were executed. So that's why I believe that they weren't executed. But something that we don't know took place right in here. And it was a lot of buying. That's what I'm saying. There was a lot of buying. Whatever decision that was finally led up to let it run past 135, they let it go, and then it held up above 135, and there was just a lot of buying in that range. So that's why I believe something big is really coming here, and we're just gonna have to stand by, wait for news. And I hope it comes today. I really thought that it was coming Friday with just how everything was playing out. Todd and I went live again, just us. We went live intraday on Friday, somewhere right in here. And we thought for sure that they was going to like release news around lunch, with all that just weird price action and them actually letting it run.
Actually, I was out of my house and I was getting ready to drive somewhere. And I literally turned around and came back and sat at my desk for the next 5 hours, and thinking that something was going to happen.
Yep. And we watched the thing like a hawk for the rest of the day. So yeah, that's what we're waiting for. And like I said, I am all in. I do believe that this will turn out well for us. But then again, I mean, we won't know until we know.
Cameron, we've joked about that. We've talked about it. Like, that would be kind of a cool thing to have happen while we're live, so you guys could see how James will squeal like a little girl. But we're not in charge of when the timing of it.
Yeah, what would you guys do if news release and you heard me and Todd say, "Oh my God, Todd, let's cover our short positions"? Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, it'd be more like, will the real JMK please stand up?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man. So let me run through the comments really quickly. Let's see what we got. So good morning, everyone. Hold on a second. Okay. So Chris asked a question. It says, just want me to explain like what would happen with the cash buyout. So there are different types of buyouts, but the most simplest one would be just a straight up cash buyout. So if they decided to pay X amount of dollars, and let's just say it was official, they would pay X amount of dollars, they would more than likely halt the stock for pending news. And then they would release the news, and pretty much that stock would be pinned at that price. The dollar amount in your account would adjust. Now, it would still be tradable. But as for trying to jump in then or trying to short it, it would be pointless. So if they would hypothetically like have a buyout and just in general, like a cash offer, it would go to whatever price. You could literally just start, selling off your shares. Now, don't get me wrong, that price will push down, but there will be a lot of the market makers there probably keeping it up because they'll just collect the difference. Even if it's just pocket change, they'll be buying so many shares for when everything is official and everything rolls over, and they'll make the difference. And they'll probably make millions upon millions of dollars doing that. But for us, yeah, all cash offer would be an amazing situation. Now, let's just say if news was released and there was a deal to buy out the shares for X amount of price, meaning that it wasn't official, the price, you would see it run. It would literally be its own catalyst. You see the price just start running like crazy. There's a good chance that would probably break above, just briefly though, a good chance out of FOMO that it'd probably break above briefly above the offering price. And if that happened, sell that shit. Like, for real. Like, I don't give out financial advice, but that's just one of those things. If this, let's just say a hypothetical buyout offer, not official, but an offer came in to buy Predictive Oncology. I'm just going to give a lowball number here. This is not anything, but let's just say $3. Okay. Now, hear me out, guys. I know someone's probably freaking out thinking, oh my God, the target price is $3. Just chill out. I know I'm going to get those messages, and a lot of y'all probably thinking, why is James ranting about this? This is stupid. It's because I always get those messages. Every time I say something and even explain it, I always get the messages from people who weren't listening, freaking out. But for the scenario, hypothetically, let's just say an offer to buy out at $3 a share, which would probably then come to a shareholder vote. That thing would take off running up to that price point, more than likely. And once it got around that price point, I would still personally sell. And depending on how long or how far away that vote was, let's just say if it was a few weeks out, I don't know, just depending on the deal. If there was enough time on like a daily time frame, the stock will probably go back down from people taking profits. And if it went down far enough, I would definitely buy and go all back in. Because if we would get in there and then obviously vote yes, and we know how many shares we all hold collectively, if we would all vote yes and approve it, well, then you're going to end up getting that buyout price in the end. So there's just a couple ways to think about this. And I do want to say one more thing. While we are talking about buyouts for anything, the company has not said anything about buyouts. I started talking about like a potential buyout just based on, and this is me, I'm not speaking for the company or anything at all. This is just me, in my opinion. I was only talking about that based off of all the things. And I mean, there's so much stuff, like Todd has heard it so many times of all the puzzle pieces, that I've just like laid out. And I don't have time to tell everybody right here, but all the puzzle pieces, if you look back over this year, actually, 2021, if you go back and see everything from the old CEO basically leaving, but he's still an insider. He didn't sell his shares. The one board member who's not on the board no more. And if you ask me, I personally think that board member and the old CEO got pushed out. They put Mel into the CEO spot. They got the new board members who would definitely approve a deal. So if you look at Mel's background, he has a background in coming in as the CEO to make deals and sell companies. I've actually said that for a long time, that it's kind of odd that Mel has not taken the front public face as the company's CEO with its shareholders at all. And you guys know that's true. But he's still there, and his background is literally coming in and selling companies. And that's one of the reasons why I've always believed that he was brought in to sell Predictive Oncology off, which would be cool for us. So, yeah.
Hey, we're about 3.5 minutes to the start of the market. It's been a good show, good questions, and hopefully we hear some news soon. Today, tomorrow, it'll be great.
Yeah, so for the Twitter people, you guys know I'll be pushing it out to y'all. For everyone else, the world will literally be talking about it, and I'll be pushing it out on all social media platforms as well. So other than that, we appreciate y'all tuning in today. I'll be honest, I don't even know what the overall market is doing. Let me take a quick peek. All right, so Dow futures are currently down negative 29 points. S&P 500 is down 9 points. I'm expecting bearish day. I wasn't expecting for Friday to be as bullish as it was, but it is what it is. So, all right, that is all I have for today. Let's see if we get anything today for Predictive Oncology. Honestly, I'm tired of waiting. I know y'all are as well, but hey.
Let's give him 30 seconds. 30 seconds. We're at 99 likes. If we can get to 100th like, we may do something special, but you've got 25 seconds. Oh, we got it. We're over 100 likes.
Boom.
Okay,
all right. Well, I guess they can release news today then, you know?
Yep.
Because y'all finally gave us 100 likes. If that would happen, that's just coincidence. I know I always say there's no coincidences in the stock market, but that would literally be a coincidence. Just saying. So, all right, guys.
We're sitting over here begging for likes.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate y'all tuning in today. Just remember, trade safe, trade smart, use a stop loss, and let's just see what we get out of POAI. So
have a good one, everyone.
We will catch y'all in the next one.